Okay, welcome everyone. This is going to be a very knowledgeable live tonight. This is my plan to do these every Sunday and every Wednesday. So make sure that you tune in. Make sure that you turn your notification on. If you're dealing with a debt collector or a lawyer, I want you to make sure that you're listening up because a lot of people struggle with collections and they struggle with a lawsuit just because they don't know what to do. So listen, my name is Destiny. I started out in the credit repair business in 2020. It was doing very good. I was very successful. Y'all can hear? Can y'all hear me? Okay, I was very successful. Just put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Put a one in the chat if y'all can hear me. Okay. I was very successful in the credit industry when I started in 2020. I had a mentor. I was pretty much fine, right? In 2021, 2022, I was supposed to learn contract law and I didn't learn contract law. I was fine with just learning consumer law. Fast forward in 2023, my husband was driving from North Carolina to South Carolina, and unfortunately, his drive shaft came off his truck. It fell off his truck, and we had to put the truck in the shop. It cost us $17,000 to get it fixed. Drove it 5 minutes up down the road from getting it fixed. We thought it was fixed, and unfortunately, the truck started overheating, and his truck broke down. Okay, then we put it back in the shop, and they wanted us to pay $30,000 more dollars. It was about $33,000 more dollars. I said, no, we're not doing this. At that moment, I knew that I needed to learn contract law. So I'm here to help you to not have to study 8 hours a day for literally over a year of learning contract law. I'm here to help you to, if you have collections on your credit report, to get them removed. So this live is going to be very informative. I do not want you to take anything in this live to stop paying your bills. I do not help people to stop paying their bills. I help people to fix their credit score, leverage their credit score so they can live their best life. Okay? If you have any questions, make sure that you put them in the chat, and I am going to be teaching. This is going to be a lot of information. I'm going to be flipping screens. I'm going to be showing you all proof, case law, everything. So make sure you're sharing this live out with at least 5 people, and make sure that you're liking the live as I'm teaching. So the topic of tonight is the two-sided coin, and we're going to begin. Hold on, why didn't it, hold up. Hold on 1 second. So, do you have to pay your debt? A lot of the times people want to know, Destiny, do I have to pay this collection? Do I have to pay this charge off? Debt collectors like to use scare tactics so that they will get you to pay their debt without requesting documentation. A lot of the times they like to call you. They like to say, okay, we're going to sue you. We're going to do this. We're going to do that so they can get these funds. I'm here to tell you that before you pay any collection, before you talk to any lawyer, before you agree to any lawsuit, I want you to start asking for, one, the contract. Ask for the original contract. I don't want a copy of the contract, especially if you did it in person. You want the original contract. You want the transfer of assignment. If it's a debt collector, they must have a transfer of assignment. This will tie the debt collector to the contract. If they do not have a transfer of assignment, then they're failing themselves because they need to have that. And a lot of the times court cases get placed into the courthouse, but they don't have this. So make sure you ask for that. Okay, then it is the full accounting. That shows the original creditor gave you the debt. Now, a lot of the times people are going to say, well, they gave me the full accounting, but it did not show where the debt came from. The full accounting will show where the debt came from. If it does not show where the debt came from or originated from, then how can they say that you owe the debt? They cannot say that you owe the debt if they cannot prove that they gave you something. If you go to Discover, Navy, Chase, Amex, all of those banks and you take out a car loan, or you take out or apply for a credit card, and you default on that and they take you to court, then they need to prove that they gave you something, and they never can. There are several violations. Your legal rights is under the FDCPA. The FDCPA was enacted in 1978 to stop abusive practices by debt collectors. A lot of the times, they will like to harass, they will threaten you, they will make false statements. They will literally call you between the hours of which they are not supposed to call you. And you can get a free copy of the FDCPA if you go to ftc.gov. So if you go to ftc.gov, you will be able to get your free copy of the FDCPA. The truth about debt collections. What happens to your contract? Now, there's a lot of people on the internet is telling people, do not pay your debt, literally mess your credit up, and doing all these different things that does not make any sense. And you may say, well, Destiny, how do you know that it does not make any sense? Well, I'm here to tell you, back in 2023, I read so many different case laws. I read a lot of 8K and 10K forms, which I'm going to show you on today. I learned about the whole process and how it works, how to make sure that you can get out of debt and stop paying your debt if you default on your debt. But the internet is teaching people, okay, let's just, even if you have good credit, let's mess up your good credit because you don't want to pay a $50 payment every month. It's stupid. It's very stupid. Okay, but let's talk about what happens to your contract. Once you sign, many contracts are securitized, turning them into a financial instrument. The original creditor often gets paid by selling the debt or through insurance. Every contract has insurance. Every contract has insurance. Every contract has insurance. So, what does that mean, Destiny? Well, if the debt collector is saying that they have a right to this debt, or the lawyer is suing you, but they have an insurance clause in that contract, then why are they coming after you? That will be insurance fraud, right? That can be insurance fraud. And we're going to talk about that later. Shorty Rock said, can I get out from being a cosigner? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. And anything that you want removed off your credit report, you can get it removed. Debt collectors, the debt collector rule. Often debt collectors collect on debt they purchases for pennies on a dollar. They come in after you for literally thousands of dollars, but they only paid a penny. Rarely they have the original contract or proof of the debt of ownership. They really, really rarely have it. I mean, like 1 in a billion. 1 in a billion, they will have the original contract. Legal framework. Using a UCC in debt collection. So underneath of the UCC, that is called the Uniform Commercial Code, governs commercial transactions in the U.S. The key provisions are UCC 3-301. Only the holder in due course can enforce a debt. UCC 3-305 provides defense and claims against the enforcement of debts. Debt and contracts must be kept together. So let's go back. Because you signed the contract, the note now turns to a security. They securitize it. Hey, little bit. Hey, favorite. They securitize it. So now the note and the debt is separate. I want y'all to understand that this is why anything can get off your credit report. This is why you can win any court case if you know how to articulate yourself. Because listen, the moment that you literally originated that contract, you signed that contract, and they literally walked out of there, they got paid a lot of money. Hey, Mimi, that once you signed it, they turned it to a security. So literally, the UCC 3-301 says only the holder in due course can enforce the debt. So if they do not have the contract with the debt, then how are they trying to sue you? And how is a debt collector coming and knocking at your door and saying, Miss Johnson, you owe this debt? Let's continue. I'm going to show y'all this tonight. I'm going to break it down like y'all never had it breaking down before. Legal framework, UCC, and debt collections. Okay, so pretty much that's basically what I just said. 301, basically the person that entitled to enforce an instrument, meaning that a holder of the instrument. The instrument is the contract, the note. A non-owed holder in possession of the instrument who has the right of the holder. So basically, a lot of the times you have to understand the structure of these businesses. Every business has a trust. Every business has a holding company. But let me tell you something. That trust is owned by the holding company. The holding company owns all of the other businesses. So by that trust having ownership of your note that let's say the operating company had, then you don't have to pay anything on your credit report or when you go to court if you know how to articulate yourself. It's literally this simple. This is how I won so many court cases. This is how I'm still winning court cases, because I can articulate myself and say, hey, debt collector, I am not paying you anything. Take me to court. Sue me. I'm waiting for you. Because once you can articulate yourself, you're not scared of debt collectors. You're not scared of lawyers. And this is what I want to do on this page. I want to make sure that we are aware of what is going on and how to get ourselves out of debt. Literally 48 million people have bad credit. Between 300 and 579. That is a mess. It has to change. And it's only going to change is when we learn our rights, we read and we study, and we stop partying and shooting with the girls that did. And we literally get in the books and start studying, or get a mentor, or get somebody that can help you to take you from point A to point Z. Do they have ownership of the debt? Do they have ownership of the debt? No, they do not. If you did business with Discover does not have ownership of the debt, because that debt is now in a trust, and I'm going to prove it to you all tonight. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. So you can go and say, pull up the 8K and the 10K form. When I was learning this process, I would pull up the 8K and 10K forms. I was literally reading it to them. And y'all don't believe me that they still... Do y'all believe me that... Come on, Miss D. I'm trying. Y'all don't believe me that they securitize their notes. I know. Don't worry. So, if you take any company and type it in Google, the company name and investor relations, if you take any company and type in investor relations, you're going to be able to pull up their 8K, 10K, 42B5 forms. These forms are important for you to learn how this company operates. This is their principal address. This right here. This is how I got a lot of responses. This is how the CEO and the general counsel was calling me, because I knew where to write to. I'm giving out all the game tonight. I don't even care. Okay? And I highlighted it because I wanted to save time. So you want to make sure that you're going down and finding the part where they securitize their debt. And it's coming. It's down. This is going to tell you about everything about this company, how they invest, how they make loans, how they do everything. This is all the people that you need to know. These are all the people that you need to know. This is all the people that you need to know. I'm scrolling down. One moment. Let me find it. Okay. This is how they securitize credit cards. I'm going to zoom it in. I'm going to zoom it in so you all can see it. So y'all don't think that I'm making this stuff up. I'm not making it up. I want you to read line 2 with me. Sentence 2. The securitization of credit card receivables involves the transfer of credit card receivables to a trust. To a trust. They transfer your receivable, which is that note, to a trust. Then the transfer of a beneficial interest in those credit card receivables to a second trust through a special purpose entity. The issuance by the second trust of the notes to a third party investor. So what they do is you literally go in, say, I want a credit card. Once you get your credit card, then you sign everything. They're going to take that note. They're going to put that note into one trust. Then they're going to take that note again and transfer it to another trust through a special purpose entity. And we're going to look up their special purpose entity. Once they transfer that note, they're going to transfer it to their investors. This is why when you have a mortgage, your servicer keeps changing. This is why it keeps changing, is because they keep changing the person that actually holds the note. So y'all thinking that, oh, Discover has my note. Discover doesn't even have my note. When you're getting sued, it's not about the debt. The debt is long gone because based on the UCC, if the note and the debt separates, there's no debt. There's no debt. So you have collections, charge-off, repossessions, all of those different things on your credit report because they don't want you to know this stuff, because they don't want you to get ahead. They don't want you to actually fix your credit. I'm not going to be one of those people to say, go mess up your credit because you should be paying your bills. I'm saying we're going to use everything we can to get out of debt. That's what I'm telling you all to this tonight. We're going to use everything that we can. And I'm going to leave this on the screen for a little while longer. I'm going to leave this on the screen a little bit longer. There's no truth in lending. Did they tell you, and this is the security interest that they have in our contracts, but did they tell you that they was going to literally take this note, securitize it, and pass your information? Let me tell you another thing. In here, it talks about how they're supposed to protect your non-public information. They're not protecting your non-public information. Why? Because they're sending your information to 25 different companies, just passing your information. So literally, it's so many different ways to skin a cat. It's so many different ways to clean your credit up. It's ridiculous. You just got to get in these books. It's so many different ways to to win a court case. You just got to get in these books. And I'm going to help y'all. Let me scroll down because I got more to show you all. This is 257 pages. This thing right here that I'm scrolling down is 257 pages. I have read every company. Every company. Didn't I just tell you about non-public information? Start right here. At the federal level, Discover is a subject to Gramm-Leach-Bliley Act, which regulates Discover use and disclosures of consumer non-public personal information. They're giving out your non-personal public information. They're giving it out. This is a violation. This is a violation. This is a violation. I was fighting Navy for the last 9 months. I can show y'all proof that it came off. I was fighting Navy because Navy took $1,000 out of my account to transfer it to a whole nother entity. And I was so mad, and I learned all of this stuff. And I said, listen, I guarantee you I'm not paying you anything. That $1,000, you better put that $1,000 on that credit card. And I had to take a little loss by messing up my credit, which I literally had a very good credit score, 780. But I said, you know what? It is what it is, because it's coming back. And Navy got tired of me sending letters. You're selling my non-public and personal information. I know you are. And it's either you want to take it off my credit report or you're going to pay me. And I don't want my information being passed to no debt collector, because I have a right. Because my non-public personal information, that means that private information is my debt that I have with you all. That is private information. This is why I tell you that a debt collector can have the debt, but they cannot have your information. Your information is supposed to be private. This is why when your information is exposed and you get a data breach and all those different things, this is why they have to pay you. So why in the world are these companies not paying us? Why are they not paying us? Why are they not paying us? They're exposing our information all the time. They're passing out non-public personal information time and time again. When these companies change, when your services change, they're getting your social security number. They're getting your social security number. I hope that makes you mad. I may need your help on this. Stay to the end and I'm going to tell you how I can help you. Stay to the end and I'm going to tell you how I can help you. This is charge-offs. Literally in 2023 on credit card loans, they had, and this is in millions. You'll have to make sure y'all read everything. This is in millions. Literally 3 million, 3.6 million credit card loans was charge-offs. But when they securitized the note, they done made that and more. But then they come knocking at your door with this debt collector saying, you owe this debt. Tell me how. How way? Thank you, John. Let me tell you how I got so good at this, because I didn't want to lose anymore. I lost my first court case, and I said, you know what? I'm done. And it was for my husband. I lost my husband's first court case, and I said, never again. I'm not losing again. I'm going to learn how to win. I'm going to learn how to win. I am going to win, and everybody on my team are going to win. We're not losing no court case. All of this is what you need to read. All of this stuff is very good. It takes time reading. That's why I'm here, to help you along the way. Let's get back to this PowerPoint. The facts. What is securitization? The process of pooling various debts, contract debts, selling them as securities. Once they securitize the debt, the original creditor is often paid, releasing you from the obligation to them. Once they sell that debt to someone else, it releases you from paying that debt. I'm going to do a video, John. I'm going to do a video on how to find any company. I'm going to do a video on how to find any company, 8K and 10K forms. I guarantee you I am. If you're in my Discord, if you're one of my credit clients, I'm going to make sure that you have links, okay? So if you're in one of my credit clients, and y'all know if y'all my credit clients, I'm going to back for you all if I'm cleaning up y'all credit. So trust me, y'all will have different links for different banks. I want y'all to read. You're very welcome, John. So debt collectors, many lack standing on to collect since they're not the original contract parties. They don't have anything to do with it. They don't have anything to do with it. The FDCPA violations in securitized debts. The facts. The FDCPA mandates collectors on how to validate the debt. Okay, if you send them a debt validation letter, they have to validate their debt. But underneath 15 USC 1692G, it basically states that all they had to do is basically says a statement. But you need to make sure that your letters are very strong, that they're not even willing to go there with you. A lot of you all are using generic letters, and it's not getting you anywhere. If they provide the account statements, which is literally just a piece of paper. Anybody can make that up. Anybody can get that off the internet. Shoot, you can get a Discover right off the internet, literally, and put that thing in an Adobe and make it do what it did. I don't want, and this is my argument against lawyers. How did you retrieve this statement? Because let me tell you one thing: when a debt collector buys a debt, the original creditor do not 9 times out of 10 give them statements. They just give them your information. What they do is they have to go back and go to Discover, go to Amex, go to Navy, go to all these different institutions and ask for account statements, and they have to pay. So they do not like having to keep going back, asking for information at the information at the information. So this is why you need to make sure that you make them give out all the information. And if they ignore your request for the proof of that ownership, then you do a CFPB. Okay, this is the process. Okay, I wrote down the whole process so you all won't have to figure it out. So it's a lot. And this recording will be going on my YouTube page. So if you want to go to my YouTube, my YouTube page is Destiny Talks _credit, and you will be able to subscribe there. And I am going to post this on my my YouTube page in the morning, probably tonight, but I probably will do it in the morning. Okay. The securitization process that Discoverers or similar financial institutions use involving converting their receivables, which is like credit card debt, personal loans, into financial instruments that can be sold to investors. Every company has investors, okay? No matter the company, okay? You can deal with Nike, whoever. Every company has investors, i.e. the stock market. This is where they're getting it from, okay? So the pool of receivables. What happens? Discover pulls together its credit card receivables, amount owed by cardholders, into a single profile. This portfolio becomes the foundation of securitization process. It allows Discover to turn future payments into immediate cash. So this, by them having that note and having all your note and stating that you're going to have to pay this amount every month, it turns into immediate cash for them. Creation of a special purpose vehicle, SPV. If y'all remember when I was reading the 10K form, it says special purpose entity. That's the same thing as special purpose vehicle. They need this SPV to pass through the different entities. So making sure they can securitize it and make more and more money off of it, okay? This is ensure the bankruptcy that they're remote from it. So basically, if they was to get sued or face financial troubles, their receivables are protected. This is why they hide them in a trust. This is why when you starting out in business, that business structure needs to be good. Because when you get sued, your house won't matter. Your cars won't matter because you don't own anything. People like owning something because they like, ooh, it's mine and I own it. No, you don't need to own anything. Control everything, own nothing. Own nothing. So ABS, asset-backed securities. What happens? The SPV issues asset-backed securities, which are sold to investors. These securities are backed by the pool of receivables, meaning investors are entitled to the cash flow payments from these receivables. So when y'all think y'all paying the company, y'all not paying that company. Y'all not paying the company. This is why I tell people, don't be sitting here thinking that you're going to pay this charge off. Pay what? Pay what? I will bring this up in court, honey. Well, according to your 10K form, can you please explain to me how y'all pass securities and how I'm still liable for this debt? I'm telling you, got to say some things, not towards the judge, but towards that debt collector and lawyer and get them shaken up. And then they literally like, oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. Yeah, stop playing with somebody. Stop playing with me and go play with somebody else. To make the securities more attractive to investors, Discover or the SPV add credit enhancements, such as like they do like reserve accounts, guarantees, pretty much anything that they can use. Like say if you add your car as collateral, all those are credit enhancements. This reduces the risk for investors, ensuring steady returns even if some borrowers default, because then they have something to take from you. They have something to take from you. There is something. And then they can mess up your credit. And then they can put it on your credit report. That's a charge of. Then they can go file an insurance policy so they can get paid by that. Are y'all following along? Put a 1 in the chat if you're following along with me. If this is making sense, put a 1 in the chat. If this is making sense, put a 1 in the chat. I don't see no ones in the chat. Okay, this is making sense. Make sure y'all sharing this live out. The flow of your note. These companies are a mess. I have to laugh. Debt collections and cash flow. What happens as the cardholder makes payments, including interest, principal, and fees, the cash flow goes to the SPV. The SPV uses these payments to pay back investors who purchased the ABS. They purchase the ABS, Discover's earned its money up front by selling, please listen to me, by selling the receivables, and may also profit from servicing the account. You ever think about contract law? Don't. I tell you all the time that it's contract law, contract law, contract law, contract law, contract law. Because how Discover sets up their entities is that they have operational companies. Operational companies are literally what we see. That's not what their bread and butter. That's not their bread and butter. The operational companies is Discover Bank. But Discover Bank is owned by a holding company. The holding company is owned by the trust. And then they have a writ on the side of their holding company. We have to start thinking bigger, and we have to start doing more so that we can understand, if you're in debt right now, how to get out of it, how not to be scared to talk to a debt collector, how not to be scared to fight. And that's why I'm here. Investors, returns, and risks. Investors receive regular payments from the cash flow generated by the receivable. What are the receivables? Your note, your contract, your application that you got denied for. That is still money, honey. That's still money. They securitize all notes. They're in the business of making money. Banks don't lend money. Banks don't lend their own credit. We're going into contract with knowing the full circle. Yes. 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 Most definitely. If the borrowers default on their Discover accounts, the cash flow might decrease, affecting investor payouts. This is when the insurance policy kicks in, y'all. Debt ownership. Once securitized, Discover no longer owns the debt. Who is it owned by? The SPV. Did you get notification that it was owned by the SPV? Isn't Discover the one that be suing you, passing your debt around like they own the debt, and you're sending your payments in every month, but as soon as you default on one payment, they get mad? Can you explain what to do when a creditor that put it on your I think you're trying to say when they put it on your profile. So what happens is when an original creditor place it on your credit report that they own the debt, and but I'm just telling you, that they don't own the debt. You dispute the accuracy of the account, you may have to go 1 or 2 rounds, and then I want you to send Discover a nasty letter and letting them know that what they're up against. Deny you credit. Deny you credit. So basically, you know how the internet says that we have full faith and credit, right? Yes, we do have full faith and credit, but let me tell you something. The full faith and credit comes from when you actually have the score and you have the profile to get whatever you want. So what the internet is not teaching us is that just because you have full faith and credit, that do not mean that you are able to get everything that you want. So if you're denied credit, you listen, it's not much you can do because the way the laws are set up. No, we did not get any reports from them about our note. What are you saying? Must be nice. What are you saying? I'm reading from the side, y'all. I'm reading from the side. So make sure y'all clear what y'all saying, because I think you piggybacking off on me, and sometimes I do that, y'all. Sometimes I don't understand what y'all saying until I think about it, because I'm like in like teaching mode, so I'm like just going and going and going. So I think you're piggybacking off of what I was saying. Make sure, let me know if I'm right. Must be nice. So once they securitize it, Discover no longer owns the debt. It's owned by the SPV. This is critical in disputes when debt collectors, as they may not have the standing to collect. Hold on, y'all. Let me turn my alarm going to go off again. They may not have the right to collect, but guess what they're doing? They're collecting on that debt, and guess what you're not doing? Asking them for the validation of that debt. Asking them for validation of their debt. They don't have it. They don't have it. They don't have it. So your credit is messed up. Your credit is messed up right now because you wanted to be messed up. You don't have somebody literally trying to go to bat for you to get it off. Sometimes, I'm telling you this now, it's not easy. It's not easy. It may take 3 months. It may take 4 months. It may take 5 months, but I guarantee you it ain't never coming back. And it's not going to be given to a debt collector and all those different things. And if the debt collector has it, it's going to stop there. But a lot of the people credit are messed up just because they have a lack of knowledge. But I'm telling you right now, the person that is on your credit report, that is not the person that holds that note. Discover Bank Master Trust is the SPV for Discover. They own all of the notes. They own all of the notes. Their trust owns the notes. This is not fun learning this stuff. When I learned all of this, I was so angry. I was so fed up. I was so exhausted from reading, studying it. But I'm telling you this now. This is why when I fix your credit, when you come over here and you work with me and saying, Destiny, I want you to help me fix my credit. This is why I can guarantee you that, listen, Destiny ain't giving up. It may take 1 or 2 rounds. It may take 4 or 5 rounds. But guess what? Destiny is not giving up. And I'm going to educate you along the way. So, challenging the debt. Is it valid? Is it valid? Is the debt valid? What to request? You want to request the proof of ownership, the chain of title, the original signed contract, evidence that the collector is the holder in due course. Just because they show some document saying, oh, we are the holder in due course, what are 2 things? I want y'all to put in the comments, what are 2 things that they must have in order to say that the debt is theirs? Thank you so much, Leona, for the follow. What are 2 things that a debt collector must have to say that the debt is theirs, that they own the debt? Can anybody put it in the comments? Can anybody put it in the comments? The original signed contract? Yes, that's one thing. That's one thing. The bill of sale? No. For them to be the holder in due course, what are 2 things that they need? The purchase agreement? Yes. What is the other? What is the other part? Do y'all know? What is the other part? they must have two things. For them to be the holder in due course, remember the UCC. Remember the UCC. What are the two things that they need to have? They need to have that debt and they need to have the contract. Okay, if they do not have the contract and the debt, it's no holder in due course. There is no holder in due course. So when I asked the lawyer, okay, well, can you please show me that the person that is on this paperwork is the holder in due course? They cannot. They do not have the debt. They do not have the debt or the contract together. And based on the UCC, they have to have both. And since they do not have both, then they're not the holder in due course. Point blank, period. And this is why I win so many court cases. And if I get to the point of if I get to the point of this in credit repair, if I need to use this, I will definitely use it. I will definitely use this on people to fix their credit. Because guess what? I don't like to use it at first, but if I will use whatever I have to use to get it off your credit report, all legal and lawful things to get it off your credit report. Why this work? Because many collectors cannot produce these documentations. You can force them to drop the claim or settle. What I'm settling it for? I'm settling for you to take it off my credit report and you can give me a check. Because you knew that this company that you said owned this debt didn't have rights to the debt. You knew it. But then you still, you sued me. Now it's on my public record. Now everybody can search me, which again, they're supposed to protect your non-public information. If a company sues you, they're not protecting your non-public information. That is a whole law. So you can sue the company too. Okay, case law. Winning against debt collectors. I want you all to understand that this live will be going on YouTube. So make sure that you subscribe or follow my YouTube channel. That's Destiny Talks _credit. This whole live will be going on YouTube so you can replay it, watch it, pause it, stop it, and all that good stuff. But these are two court cases. No, I meant to pick two. I only picked one. So I drop it in the comments on YouTube. I thought I picked two. I'm sorry. Midland Funding LLC versus Johnson 2017. The Supreme Court ruled against using time-barred debts in bankruptcy proceedings. And also, consumers sued a collector for failing to provide proper validation and won damages. That's supposed to be another court case, y'all. This right here. It's supposed to be a second one. I'm sorry. I will add it on YouTube. Knowledge of your rights and legal procedures can turn tables. Once you learn about, is this a scam? If someone tells you that they will remove a student loan, yes. Because, and I'm not going to say it's a scam. I'm going to rephrase that. I don't think Golden Eyes that is a scam. But what I would say is that I will proceed with caution, because typically a consumer reporting agency has about 30 days to report. But I'm going to tell you this now. I legally, lawfully took my student loans off and they came off in 5 to 6 days. So I don't know their processing, but I will not just say that just because somebody says 6 or 7 days that is a scam. But I will say I will proceed with cautions. They said they will add it to the server. No, go upstairs. On their websites, on TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, but it's just whatever I don't necessarily dispute on TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian unless I have a certain issue and I want it to be addressed. So it's just, I have several different ways that I dispute things, just, depending on the type of debt. I would say that. Basically, they like to pretty much, again, I'm going to talk about this because we about to be wrapping all this up and I'm going to explain it all again. But they pretty much, debt collectors like to use all kind of tactics to basically get you to get the money out of your pocket. But what I want you to understand is that you can fight back. I want you to understand how to fight back. I want you to do not be scared to pick up that phone and talk to that debt collector. They're a human being just like you. When they try to threaten you, you talk back to them. I literally called a debt collector about 5 times yesterday, and she got so mad that I think she blocked my number because she wasn't calling for me, but she was calling for one of my clients. So I took the number and started talking to her, and literally she told me she's going to sue my client. I said, well, go sue the client then, because now you're threatened. Yes. And if you're going to court, they told me $400. And well, I mean, that's up to you, Golden Eyes. But me personally, I don't tell people that I'm gonna remove things off in 6 to 7 days. That's not what I do. So I can't speak on somebody else and what they're doing and how they're doing it, and to say if they're a scam or fraudulent or not. I think that would not be right of me. But protecting your credit report, debt collections can stay on your credit report for up to 7 years. You want to dispute the inaccuracies underneath the FCRA. You want to monitor your credit regularly, challenge any errors. Anything can be removed off your credit report. So, my question that I want to ask you all tonight: are you ready to learn more? Are you ready to clean up your credit? Because listen, a lot of the times people are ready to get a new start, but they don't know how. They're trying to clean up their credit, but they don't know what to do. The thing about it is anything could be removed off your credit report because the person that you signed the contract with is not the person that has the debt. No, Shannon. Um, Anything can be removed off your credit report, no matter if they have a balance, if you owe anything. That will not take away the debt. They're not right. They will not take away the debt. That will not take away the debt, but it will take off the account off your credit report. I'm going to give you another little hack, because a lot of the times people say, well, you signed the contract and it's supposed to be on your credit report because you gave them permissible purpose. But they was also supposed to make sure that you wanted them to continue to report. If you did not give them permission to continue to report, you could get it off your credit report by simply asking for the disclosures. If you did not give them permission to pass your information to a debt collector, that debt collector calling you is literally calling you about your non-public information. Meaning that if they pretty much saying that you owe a house and or you have children or this and this and that, or we're going to sue you, or we're going to do all these different things, all of that is non-public. But your name and all those different things, that's public information. Your phone number is private information. Your phone number is private information. People typically cannot find your phone number. So I'm going to tell you something. If you have collections, if you have charge-offs, if you have late payments, if you have inquiries, if you have anything on your credit report that you want off, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat. I want you to drop a 1 in the chat. If you have anything on your credit report right now and you want it off, I want you to drop a 1 in the chat. I want you to drop a 1 in the chat. It does not matter if your accounts are negative or not. If you want them off your credit report, you can take it off your credit report. That will not take away the debt responsibility. I'm not teaching people not to pay their bills. I'm teaching people that if whatever you want removed off your credit report, you can remove it. If you're dealing with a lawsuit, if you're dealing with a collector, if you're dealing with a lawyer, this all will help you. So listen, if you said 1, if you put a 1 in the chat, I have 2 options for you. You could do it by yourself or you could do it with me. All options involve Afterpay and Klarna. Okay? To get debt collections off just got easier. I created a whole bundle specifically for the people that I'm on live with. In that bundle, it comes my replay of credit law, contract law, and arbitration. So you learn in credit law, contract law, and arbitration. And I give you the ebook. And I give you the debt collector terminator. So I'm giving you 3 things that's well worth over the price that I give it to you. I believe it is on sale. I put it for $199. If you want it, you go grab it. The link is in my stand store, in my bio. I'm going to show you all how to get it. 1 second. So you'll go to the link in my bio. Let me go back. You'll go to the link in my bio. You're going to press the stand store. Hold on. You're going to press the stand store. You're going to scroll all the way down. It's going to say the defense bundle. The defense bundle. You're going to press download now. You can read this. It comes with 3 different things. It comes with the replay. It comes with the ebook. And it comes with the debt collector terminator. So if you have collections on your credit report, you want to sign up and get the guide. You can use Afterpay and literally pay full payments of $49.75. If you're saying, Destiny, I don't have time. I don't want to learn all that stuff. I don't want to be researching. I just want to be your client. Then you will go and get the total package. And this is the amount. You can press I'm ready now, and you'll be able to sign up. You can read the reviews and all those different things, and you'll be able to sign up. And yes, you can use Afterpay with this one. And literally, if you want to do full entry, interest-free payments, that's what you have to pay. The choice is yours. It's either you're going to have bad credit or you're going to do something about your credit. But even still, the choice is yours. You do not have to let me do it for you. You can literally learn everything that I have learned. But learning by yourself sometimes is not fun. But sometimes people want to do it. If you want to invest in yourself and you want to fix up your credit and literally work on your credit, then literally it's yours. The option is yours. So I gave y'all 2 options. Please do one so that you can get your best life in 2025. Is it true that the people have unlimited accounts to credit? No, I would say that if your credit score is bad at 500, 600, you don't have a sense of unlimited credit. The sense of it, they do have laws put in place because they can't just allow people to just go and apply for $5,000 loans, $10,000 loans, and all of that if their credit score is 300. So every bank has a right to have operating procedures on what their requirements are going to be. Hi, Empress. So I gave y'all 2 options. Oh, my thing was about to fall. Hold up, y'all. I gave y'all 2 options. If you want to become my client for me to clean up your credit, then this is the option.